I don't know why that looks so beautiful to me right now. Just a kind of blurry view in the background. I don't know why my camera has that view. You know, and I can't do it in drive. So let me just stop. Let me stop. Hey, so I had a moment of so many revelations, and oh gosh, okay. First of all, I had a really rough day Sunday, I think it was, or Monday. I had a really rough day. I was so angry, so angry. And I had also assumed that I was done with healing, so I couldn't understand why I was angry. And then I thought to myself, okay, so if something is still triggering these negative emotions, well, then it's something I need to go back and revisit and clear that up so I can move forward. Like, I really need to get, heal, get myself together so that I can, move forward emotionally, start making progress to being better, And, but what ended up happening was I reached out to a few people. I reached out to my sister. I reached out to my girlfriend who has her master's in, psychology. I reached out to another sister of mine, and I've got all different replies, which helped me a great deal. So one of them was saying, you gotta pray, you gotta get through this. The other one asked me, well, what triggered you? Do you know what triggered your anger? And then, my therapist was saying, well, listen, you completed the 5 steps of grief, okay? That's what you did, and that's good. So what it is now you have to process how to move forward. You have to move forward. And so, to make a long story short, without getting into more details of who said what, I realized that in the process of me, healing and so forth, I got stuck. I kind of got stuck because I was very focused on healing, because I really wanted to not just feel better. I wasn't trying to rush the grieving process, but I was saying to myself, or trying to figure out what it was that I needed to heal so that I won't have to revisit these types of people anymore. These types of low vibrational or so broken that, it impacts me so terribly, So, but in combing through all of that and healing all of that, somewhere I kind of got stuck because I wasn't sure what I needed to do to move forward out of that emotion, out of that frustration, out past the healing. I'm like, okay, you completed the grieving process, and I know that moving forward is a part of healing. The thing is, I wasn't sure how to proceed forward, and the anger came up because not only did I kind of get stuck there, but it began to morph into this energy of protection, if I'm saying that right. It's kind of like, an silent admission and trying to protect myself at the same time. So the admission aspect of it was, I am hurt. I've been through this thing with someone that I love, with someone that I trusted, and I'm very angry about it. And so now I'm closing myself off. I'm not letting no one in. I'm just gonna have these walls up, these defenses up, and I'm just, I need to fall back into myself and get people, just get people away from me until I can analyze my discernment and figure out where, have I fell victim to somebody else's bullshit. Right? This is all that's going on in my head. I'm a diversified thinker. I just feel like I need to keep reiterating that. So I tend to think a lot. And yeah. And then I got into this space that I'm saying, okay, so now that these things were brought to my attention, what are you going to do about it? You don't want to, as I've said in previous in previous lives, I don't want to stay in dragon format, meaning I had to become some type of monster in order to defeat the monster that was attacking me in my life. Because being kind, trying to soothe it, trying to love it was not effective to my benefit. So in order for me to turn the situation beneficial to myself, I had to in fact become the monster, slay the monster. And now I'm in this place or this space where I feel like I don't want to be, but it's kind of it's a defense mechanism, and it's like it kind of, like I said, morphed into like second nature. It's just like, so that's where I am. I am trying to realign my thought process and my heart, because I need not to have my defenses so high that no one can get in. You want people to come in. You want the people that's in to stay in. And you also want to be able to have your discernment up, or your judgment up, high enough to be the protection that you need without hurting people who really do care about you, or who really have positive intentions, loving intentions for you. And so that's what I'm doing now. And this, this is a motherfucker. This is definitely a motherfucker. I don't think it's like a surprise. It's just I'm learning as I'm going. And this is the whole point of me trying to do these, not trying, excuse me. This is the whole point of me doing these, doing it, because it's just all a fucking process. And while I'm going through this process, because I've never been through this process before, I have no fucking sense of direction except for divine intervention, and self-awareness, and so yes, those things are helping me. But if some type of way people can learn from me, learn from my experiences, and maybe, just maybe, get clues or ideas of how to heal certain situations and what may come up, and how do you deal with does come up, what does surface or resurface. It's just things like that. Like, maybe if I can just help somebody, I'm really, really grateful for that, because as I said, I think at some point we all could use a little direction. Ironically, you got these traumatic experiences that toxic people would rather engulf themselves in, I guess it's exciting. But they engulf themselves in those emotions because they don't want to do the necessary work in order to heal. But healing work is also exciting. It's a different form of excitement because you are becoming your true self. Who you are in any traumatic or toxic state is not your true self. And you should want to be able to find your true self, because in living this life, all these experiences that we have that shape and mold us, there's honestly nothing better than living it in your authenticity, you know. And this is a spiritual journey as well. And I just think it's also important for me to make mention in being vulnerable right now, which I don't even know if I fucking should be, but let's not half step this bullshit. And being authentic, let's not sugarcoat this shit. All right, let's be real. So the thing is, also, going back to when I was angry and I was trying to figure out why I was angry, my spiritual advisor said to me, why do you feel angry? What do you feel triggered that anger? And I can tell you that I wasn't sure, but I went into a meditative state trying to rebalance myself, my energies, and to come back in peace. And what I've discovered is this. I have discovered that in my meditative state, that there are still childhood traumas that I need to heal, and in my adult experiences is what caused old emotions to arise. There's some type of attachment there. And I had to, in my meditative state, this came up. And the attachment was that I was angry because the little lady that lives within me, my younger self, my childhood self, was triggered. Okay? She was angry. She had been angry for a long time, but as usual, she put herself on the back burner because the adult me was also angry. And so, of course, I feel like, I should come first. Now, I didn't know this until I got into my meditative state, that the younger me was angry. And that is what resurfaced after I thought that I was healed, or ready to move forward. That's a better way to put it. That's what happened when I thought I was ready to move forward. That's what got me stuck. I couldn't understand why I was angry. Well, that's why I was angry, because she put herself on the back burner in order for me to get to a certain space. Once I got to that certain space that I could actually pay attention to her, she surfaced in anger. And she's angry, or was angry, because I had a heart-to-heart talk with her. She's angry because she was triggered. And she was triggered because she couldn't understand why men that she loved would leave or kept leaving. This is a little girl in me, the child in me. So the men that she was referring to is my ex and my dad. Now, I never thought I had childhood issues or daddy drama, if that's the right way to say it. I never thought that I had it because growing up in a in a black family, let me say that, growing up in a black family, that there was systems set into place so that the fathers of the home would not be around. My family was no different. My father fell victim to his circumstances, right? Of a racial system that kept our families divided. My family was no different. My father fell victim to it. For years, and I mean decades and decades and decades, I never had any animosity towards my dad because of the way my mom explained it to me. And I don't know if it was her great parenting skills, or maybe she was actually just trying to help me so this bad energy or negative emotion or feeling wouldn't surface. But she said to me, she said, listen, your father also had a rough childhood, and we were young parents. I had you at the age of 16 years old. He was around the same age, and there were things that happened in his life that took him away. So he was not killed, he didn't die, but it was circumstances beyond his control. And it's not that he didn't want to be around, because he absolutely tried to be around, but things got out of hand and he had to go. And I don't want you to be upset with him. I'm not upset with him because I understand, and I'm explaining it to you so that you can understand. So if you see people or children with their parents or the fathers around, I don't want you to get angry and feel like he left you. He did not leave you, but he was put in a situation where he had to go. And I don't know why that, excuse me, because I'm driving and I'm trying to keep this phone camera steady, but I don't know. I just always carry that with me. And it was always justifiable to me because I understood it. I understood the politics of growing up black in the hood. And I was not angry with my father all those years. I wasn't. And so when I addressed my younger self and she brought him up, I was taken aback. I was like, oh shit. She was not angry. How can I say this? When we spoke, she wasn't angry. She was sobbing. Her sadness morphed into anger, right? The anger is what got my attention. She was actually sad. She was not angry she still wasn't angry at the father. She was just sad because he was not around. And so when my ex left, she connected the two as the same. Like, well, why do the men that I love leave? Why do they always leave? And I embraced her. I kept hugging her. I kept telling her, I kept apologizing, because I need for her to understand in her young mind that the decisions that anyone makes has nothing to do with her. She is not responsible, and she cannot be held accountable for the decisions that adults make. And that I'm so sorry that you're hurt behind the actions of these adults because you love them. But I can tell you that I'm here. I'm here now. And I know that I'm not them. I know that I'm not, I know that I am not the dad. I know that I am not the ex. But hopefully you'll look at me and see that I'm suffice. I can and will protect you. I can and will guide you. I can and will love you unconditionally. I can and will do everything in my power to make sure that you don't experience this pain anymore. Because if I embrace her, if I hug her, if I talk to her, I heal the sadness that was in her. I heal the trauma that I experienced in my past relationship, I can now begin the process of taking effective steps to moving forward, because whatever it was that was broken in that little baby carried me through all these decades and all these years, which is why I kept running into people who were in the likeness of that brokenness. And let me just make a side note to say that I am combining the physical and the spiritual experience of what I have learned in my healing process. So if you are not in the process, anywhere in the process of healing, because healing takes some form of spirituality. They simultaneously occupy the same space in order to get you in a better space, in order to align your chakras, in order to get your mind, body, soul, spirit, all you want to get all of this lined up together so that you can make better decisions. When you know better, you do better. So baby, I'm speaking to the spirituality in you also, not just the physical. And if you're not there in your, wherever you are in your process, if you don't at least understand that healing and the spiritual journey is simultaneous, you're not going to understand what I'm saying at all. And therefore, you're going to take it as though, I sound crazy or that I'm bugging out. And I'm not offended by your thought process. I'm just saying to you that you're not ready, baby. You're not on the level to be able to. And I'm not trying to demean anyone in any type of way. So let me reiterate again. If you don't understand what I'm saying, or if what I'm saying is confusing to you, or I sound crazy, I'm not offended. I don't want you to be offended. It just means that you have not even come to the understanding that a healing journey is simultaneous with the spiritual experience. So whoever your God is will communicate with you and give you signs, epiphanies, revelation. There will be things that happen in your life that lets you know, and it is unexplainable because all of our experiences are different. I'm trying my best to explain it. But if you don't have no type of idea what I am saying or what I am talking about, that means that you're not there yet. But if you do have an inkling of knowledge about what I'm talking about, just the slightest little bit, even if it's curiosity that makes you say, well, you know what, let me look into this a little bit more because I kind of get it. Even if you have that, then you are definitely on the right path, because you know and understand that you will get divine messages from your God, from your guides, from your spirit man, from a higher source. You will get guided into what it is that needs healing, why it needs healing, and what is it that you need to do to heal. And yeah, all right. So yeah, and I honestly, I feel so much. I can't even believe the weight that I feel that was lifted off of me, because I think I've learned that there's nothing that you can't that you can bury that won't eventually resurface. And I'm talking about experiences. I honestly did not know that I had daddy issues. I have had men in my life, like my uncle brother. He is my mom's brother, but I call him my uncle brother because even though he is my uncle, we are very, very close, like brother and sister. I couldn't even say that he's one of my best friends. And I'm saying he's one of my best friends because, you know, I am also in the process of finding out who people really are at their core through my experiences personally and through my experiences with them. And so yes, he's one of my best friends in the whole world, and he's an uncle, but he's more like a brother. And I've had him in my life all of my life, and I love him.
Red light camera reported ahead.
My feeling of sadness of not being able to have my dad around has nothing to do with my uncle brother. Nothing at all. He was there for me like a brother. You know, he was there for me like someone who had sincere love for me and wanted the best for me. You know, he just wasn't my dad. And sorry about this damn camera. I know if I don't get it together, you are not going to keep watching. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this video here and now. And I just wanted to update you guys on my shit, I want to update you guys on my last experience. Because this is a documentary, so to speak, that I am embarking on about my life experiences on the road to healing, because I'll be damned if I do not live my best fucking life after this experience. I am so tired of playing second fiddle to other people. I'm tired of dumbing myself down for other people. That is not love, guys. I just need you to know that is not love. When you know you have something in you that is filled with glorious light, it was a blessing bestowed upon you to your God. For whatever reason, don't keep extinguishing your light, trying to help other people find theirs. Don't keep extinguishing your light, trying to make other people feel better because they haven't found theirs, or because they just may not have a light. With that, I wish you so many blessings, so much love on your road to healing. I hope that each day gets better and better for you, and I will definitely be talking with you guys soon.